We're live. Let's go. Dun, ba, dun, ba. Waiting on people to show up. Today is a great day. The sun is shining. No complaints. No complaints. All right. Let's see. What is going on in the market? Let's add a few things. How was everyone's weekend? So if those watching, if you're a father, what'd you do for Father's Day? My son had a fever of 102, so I spent it at home. We were going to go out, rented a boat where I live, and enjoy with some friends. However, there's, as with being a parent, there's always something that changes. And so, just all right, it's life. So spend it naps, movies, getting outside maybe for a few minutes just to see the sun, but laying low. What'd y'all do? Would love to hear. I'm going to give it a few more seconds. I was going to say a few more minutes, a little bit longer, and then we'll jump right into it. My son, he broke the fever last night, so I'm just glad it was only 2 days as opposed to anything more than that. Anything more. Let's see. I'll make sure this is showing up on X, on Twitter. Anything? I'm checking my. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, it is showing up when I look on my app. All right. You know what? Usually takes a little longer. Let's just jump. For those who are already here, let's just jump right into it. Okay. So let's see here. What do I want to start with? What I have written down. All right, let's look at bubbles. No, let's look at the market. Okay. Bring that up on stage. Cool. I'm using TradingView. Okay, I can get out of here. Super chart time. ETH. So something we noticed about ETH is that last week, I don't know how many days ago, was it back over here? Last week, we did a local together. I say together, I was doing it on screen. It definitely went down, and over the weekend, it just pretty much, I'd say, kissed the 786 line and then bounded back up. I think that was expected. I think we were expecting that, irregardless of what was going on with the news, Israel, Iran, everything going on over there. I think where it's going to continue, I have no idea. I have hopes and dreams of going above 3,000, going up to 3,700. I have, just these one going how high, going all the way up. I have dreams, but until then, we're just hanging out in reality. I will say, this is sideways action. If you like liquidity providing, maybe you can get some piece of that action there. That looks like pretty consistent and pretty straightforward. Not much is going on. What's that? Yeah, it just looks relatively flat on the weekly. We had a big old pump last month, got back above 2K, and now we're just here. I wonder what the liquidity is for ETH, Because I'm guessing with the amount of people that have been purchasing ETH, everything is, it's going to take a little longer to pump. I think that's just the way it's going to be. It's just going to take a little longer to pump or move up. I shouldn't use pump. Pump mean like these candles to show up. That's not necessarily true. It's just it's going to be a little bit of a grind, and it's just going to slowly move up as it wants to. Let's look at Bitcoin. I saw, was it Watcher Guru? They had, it's like Bitcoin back above 107K. Call me when we're above 110, 115, 120. All right. I mean, it's same old, same old, same old. It's, let's look at a local. All right. That was the high. That was ish the low. So it was like 111. It was about the local high. Came back down. Oh, bounced back up. I mean, it's sideways. What is M2? That doesn't help. I should find that out. Anyway, all right. Nothing interesting. I think it's just same old, same old. This will probably go up and then down, up and down, up, and then maybe there's going to be, maybe it'll be similar to how it was these two legs up. So it was just kind of from what looks like from beginning of April sideways for how long? Was that a month? And then almost a full month, then sideways for 2 weeks, up, sideways, oh, going on a month and a half, and then another leg up, maybe like that, or maybe go down. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, let's take a look. Oh, hang on. Ooh, this is cool. Ethereum saw $500 million in inflows last week. Its biggest gain since February, totaling $2 billion or 40% assets. Ethereum funds had $500 million. Okay, let's take a look at that. That's Ethereum whale an hour ago. Stages massive 2.5 billion accumulation, biggest since 2018. Wow, 2.5 billion. Bitcoin Ether ETF by Trump Media. A lot of. See, I think one of the things for viewers, when I think of noise, I think of things like this right here. Can you mine Bitcoin with that? Seems like that seems like noise to me. Not financial advice, not media advice, but if I'm just looking at anything, this just seems like noise. This seems like noise. Solana surges as Bybit prepares to launch. Prepares. Well, they haven't launched it, so I think they're just driving up hype. ETH whales are buying most ETH since 2018. When was this? Oh, wow. This was not long ago. Yep, on Sunday. Wow, 2.5 billion. And I see a short-term ETH target. Okay, well, it'll happen when it happens. ETH whale net position. Ooh, this is a cool chart. Oh, Glassnode. That's, we'll have to look that up. All right, ETH price is in black. ETH supplied held by addresses with a balance of 1K to 10K ETH. Ooh, slowly been increasing. Would be interested to find out when that date. That looks like third quarter of 2025. This was probably when the 4K, was that when the 4K ETH and then it's steadily just been going, oh, it's been even increasing more. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. Thank you, Coin. So I would say that's a good data point. That's actual news instead of noise. Because it's, and I mean, this is just my opinion. Figure out your own filter. What is ETH BTC? Give me some ratio. Second time. All right. Yep. Just side. Yeah. Everything's sideways at the moment. But are they, is this all in preparation? This is all also, it's all going on while it's below the local high of 2,800. It's below 3 grand and it's below 4 grand. So what I'm curious to know, all right, so that's 2024. If in the lead up, if this happened also, maybe kind of sort of back in 21, there was a high, went down, then it charged up again to slow. Let's take a look at the weekly to see. Yeah. All right. Come on. Maybe not. I don't know. Because I could kind of read this as right here. Because that this all the way, oh, that's 17, all the way up. That's 20, 21. I don't know. I'll have to do more digging. But it's sideways now. Cool. All right, let's take a look at how's TitanX doing. Ooh, up. Hello, let's just do the bubbles. Let's just do the bubble. What? There we go. Holy cow. So this is 24 hours from about this time. I got 37% from Ascend, 28 from Helios. Awesome X with a 34%. Hot dog. Ouroboros with 16% pump. Hydro with a 10. Blaze, almost 9.5. Very, very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great for the ecosystem. I'll bring this up. I saw something from Jukes the Great about if ETH, flowing back into the system. I also wanted to bring up, because I'd be curious what y'all think, because I've seen this a couple times in the Telegram chats, and I just think it's bad taste from all of us. But I get people are a little frustrated with Jake and frustrated with how things are panning out or happening, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's just, I think I always think look to understand before you criticize. But there are times where it's important, but I get also at times it's important to criticize because sometimes that can lead to action. But we'll come back to that. Someone had showed Helios on I think it was the daily. How many green candles in a row? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice work, Helios. Working on its 8th straight day of daily candles. Did something happen? Does anyone know what happened? Was there? I saw somewhere about a DAO Helios vote or Helios DAO vote. That's all. That's let's see. DAO. Nope. Yeah. Well, bullish post. Bullish post. Helios Treasury. We'll have to take a look at that. Otherwise, everything is looking great. TitanX is chugging along, doing its thing. There was a community member. It was Jukes the Great, and I think this. Yes, here he is. Hey, if he's listening, hey man, if you want to stream, if you want to join me, because you seem like a stats guy, and stats guy, but also the fact that you built that TitanX Utils website for the community, which is you and Keto Natural, incredibly helpful. This is it. If 10,000 ETH was to be spent all today on TitanX 280-day miners of 100 power, 26 million dollars today at ETH's price, the supply would only inflate 5.6%. That's 5.9 million TitanX would be created. That's it. How much TitanX? I'm trying to think where I could go to look for it. How much TitanX was created in the first 30 days, 60 days? That I know that, yeah, that aligns with the docs, where the docs talk about the more not the more you mine, the more time goes on, the less TitanX you can mine, which makes sense. In the beginning, you can get, what was it? You could get in the beginning, you could have mined 10 times more, I think, was it? You could mine 10 times 1.8 or 1.9. I think Jukes talked about this. You could have mined so much more TitanX compared to here we go. On day one, you could get 1.7 billion TitanX per max miner. Now it's a 10x less, which makes sense why the supply would only be 5.6 as opposed to like 56%. Hang on one second. All right, I am back. Appreciate y'all waiting. So that goes along with the core design. Odd extract. Mine distribution. So, virtual mining. Okay. I was posted. The day you pick the mining formula. The mining cost formula looks like this. Mine bonuses. I swear there was a picture. Yes, here it is. This is what I was looking for. TitanX per day of mining. At a certain point, I think it's day 2000. It just flatlines, and that's it. So that goes along with what we know about the amount of TitanX that you could, why inflation would be negligible. So like if we look at, not home, looking at supply stats, it's why, okay, so we go 26 million ETH enters, that would only go to 61%, 61.2, or 6, because he said 5.6, so that would jump us to 61.66%. Or no, that would be not burn circulating, it would add. So this would offset, and that would be 50 something percent, and that would jump up to like 48 or 49% circulating. So it'd be almost an even 50-50 split. Nonetheless, that just adds more power to the buy and burn. So, all right. Thanks, Juke. Thanks for doing that math, man. Okay. Anything? So I've also seen, who else is, we should talk about Ouroboros, because that has gotten a lot, at least I've seen a lot of attention here. So Ouroboros is, I don't know much about it, granted, because it's in the scheme of, the 22nd thing that was launched. I know I see people slowly hinting at, Ouroboros, RX. After I don't know how many, it just got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to step back. There's way too many things. I can't get all caught up and lost in it. So the goal of Ouroboros, consume as much TitanX as possible via burning, locking, and depositing into liquidity pools, working with other projects to retain value within the ecosystem and encourage the entry of new capital. Enrich the ecosystem with utility and functionality over time, drive value towards the ORX token via real yield style fee accrual rather than inflationary dilutionary awards. I need to look up with, I understand inflationary, deflationary, but inflationary dilutionary, maybe it's just the way it's put it. I don't quite understand that. Bolster the value of TitanX itself by contributing to an ecosystem of products where staying inside the ecosystem is preferable to leaving it. Yes, I would agree with this. Hence why one of the reasons why is USDX was launched, and just like USDC, it's paired one-to-one. Prevent the greatest excess of late-stage bull market optimism by ensuring all users have a way to live within the ecosystem without exploitative practices taking hold. Oh, just a vampire emoji. Let me go back. Okay, RX token. This seems heavy. I'm not going to do a review. I'm not going to there's been enough streams, enough talk about, all right, let's dissect the white paper. This is, read it yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to invest or not invest in. This is all about TitanX, what's going on, what I think. Volt is up, Inferno's up, Lotus. But was it Lotus or Eden? Something happened. I'd have to take a look where things, but the founder did right by the community and came back out. So not promoting them, just pointing, just looking at past 24 hours, what's going on. So ETH's been up, TitanX, ETH is up, looking at Mike Dean's website, 3.7%. So TitanX is up 4x that, DragonX is up almost 5x that, 4 to 5x that. Everything's just green abounds, which is awesome. Okay. I know I'm not going to do too much crazy chart reading, but just, I think, a good refresher. Okay. There we go. So if we were, depending upon where you look, the next target for TitanX, because it's been, looks like it's above what a local accumulation zone. If you want to do anything with this, not telling you. Looks like it's above the 236 line, which is great. Hopefully it stays up for the remainder of the day. If it goes all the way back up, at least hits parity with this. Let's just say 3, 6 zeros and a 3. The next goal would be 6 zeros and a 4-1, and then onward from there. If that is not where you're at, then you could argue that we're still in accumulation zone and have been for quite some time. If that's not where you want the TA to be, then you could say since the top in beginning in December, we've been in accumulation zone for a year and 4 months, 5 months, a year and 5 months. You could just buy. It's up to you how you want to look at this. I think, to me, it looks like Jake, this is a long-term project. It's not a one, dump it, pump it, and he's out of here. Looks like he actually wants to do something more with this. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. All right. Take a look at DragonX, since those are kind of the two prime. Look at the week. Oh, get out of here. Even though volume is good. All right, let's look at. Oh, I should have done this on the TitanX one. I could always go back. All right. So if I'm looking, let's look at the daily for DragonX. It's not even at 50%, so it's on the oversold side of the house. Okay. I wonder what else. I wonder what Eric has next. If he has anything next. Where are we at? Let me go back to TitanX. Let's take a look at this. Go away. I am not a day trader. Go away. Log. Get volume out of here. Let's look at RSI. On a weekly, it is so oversold. It's not even funny. Oh, interesting. Can I draw on here? So if I'm looking at, it looks like today, 34.30. That appears, that's almost, granted this is the weekly, that's almost as high as when it was back up here, this high, that top. What was it at this top? So both at the top when it did 10x last year, and then this top, this local top back a month ago, that's where the RSI is at. Do with that what you will. It is completely up to you. I just find that interesting that now this line is, even though the price is all the way down here, that the RSI, the relative strength index of buying and selling, is almost at the same level as the price up here and the price down there. I wonder what that means. Let's ask Grok. All right, let's start a new one. All right. TitanX, the relative strength index is 3420, which is this last time TitanX. So TitanX had a RSI of 3630 after it did a 10x, and after last year during 3Q, also lastly it, hang on, so from there 2.5x, and lastly it did a 2.5x a month ago, which brought it to a RSI level of 3630. Again, does this mean anything? Because the price of TitanX are all at of the RSI levels mentioned above are different. Okay. This is not the end-all be-all for me with regarding to Grok, but I'm just trying to get a general understanding. I'm not trying to get a, oh, this is definite, I'm just trying to understand. All right. Oh, I should have said that's on the weekly. I should have mentioned so if I feel like I need to. All right. Is a momentum indicator that measures the speed and change of price movements on a scale of 0 to 100. Overbought, typically about 70 or above. Oversold, below 30. Comparing RSI values across different time periods and price levels of TitanX require careful consideration. Yes, this is why I'm asking for assistance of AI, not the end-all be-all. As RSI is a relative measure influenced by recent price action, not absolute price levels. I would agree. Analysis. Current slightly oversold. It's above the threshold, no extreme selling, but it's not showing strong bullish. RSI after 10x and 3Q, after 10x surge, is unusually low. Yeah, that is skewing. Highlights that RSI is not directly tied to absolute price of TitanX, but rather the recent price momentum. I forgot to mention that the RSI levels I spoke of before are while looking at a weekly chart. Yeah. So yeah, the current slight lower neutral, slightly oversold, RSI of 3630 after 10x, roughly 10 to 12 weeks, is a massive move. For the weekly RSI to settle after such a rally is unusual, as rapid gains typically push to overbought. This suggests that after the 10x, TitanX likely consolidated or pull back, yep, or the latter part. Let's take, how long? Date, so we'll say it started here. It did 70 days. That's 4-8, just over 10 weeks. Whoops, I meant to go back to Grok. RSI is momentum based, not price based. RSI measures the speed and change. Okay, does this mean anything? Pattern of consolidation. The similar RSI values across these periods suggest TitanX has a tendency to stabilize after large price moves, avoiding overbought conditions. Okay, so that tells me, even after these price movements, it's not affecting as much as we thought. Okay. So there's still more, let's burn more. Pattern consolidation. This could be a healthy sign, as indicates the market isn't overextending during rallies, potentially setting the stage for sustainable. Oh, of course, this is AI. This is me asking within the context of AI and how I've specifically asked it and what I'm talking about. Okay. Going back. So potentially setting the stage for sustainable future moves. Cool. Neutral momentum now. The current weekly RSI is in a neutral zone with no strong bullish or bearish momentum. This can mean if buy pressure increases, RSI, it would be great. Let's get rid of this. Yes, it's when did on deck screener, so it started tracking here, and it's just been flatline, relative, slowly moving. This is the weekly. Then for the 10 weeks from beginning of August all the way to middle of October, RSI, it increased. Look at that. Yes, the final 2 weeks, it did more vertical, but over time, it just did its thing. And then on the way down, it's relatively just stayed the same. So maybe the best way to look at TitanX is to look at it on this horizon, where it doesn't matter here, 10x or whatever, it's all hasn't popped up. Okay, cool. Limitations and considerations. While RSI values are similar, the absolute price levels differ. To understand significance, you need to analyze price charts, support resistance levels, volume trends. That's a good point. Weekly chart nuance. A weekly RSI smooths out short-term volatility. So a 2x move a month ago may have been a sharp spike following a pullback. Okay. Yep. All right. So this, like I said, I'm just using this for general knowledge. So that's interesting. At least it's interesting to me. And now you see one of the ways I use AI. Very nice. Another indicator. Yeah, it's been down. But this is that cross that you have. Green, that's your bearish cross. Orange, that's your bullish when they invert. But hey, you can argue since the top back in December, it's been bullish, it's been bearish from a chart perspective since then. Or you can view it, it's been an accumulation zone the entire time. It's all up to you. Not financial advice, do your own research. This is just me looking at what I'm seeing and just talking out loud. If y'all see something different, say something. Or if you're like, oh, I noticed this, I noticed that. Let's take a look at TitanX. Ooh. Hey, you went up. Went from 1520 to 1523. Oh my gosh, everything's going to moon. I'm kidding. All right. Log it. Get rid of that. I'm looking at TitanX. Oh, yeah. Looking at TitanX again since this ate up everything. Look at the RSI. Okay, there you go. On the weekly, holy mackerel. So that just launched up. There's its 100x, back down, kissed over the median point, and right now it's slowly in an uptrend. Again, DragonX, leverage of TitanX, leverage of ETH. Okay. It'd be cool if it went up a little higher, then all of a sudden we got this W, up and down, another W, up and down, up and down, up and down. We'll see. I know Krypton Connoisseur does these. It's like you start at one point, then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how they do that. There's some others. All right, anyway. All right, so that's where we're at. Keep buying, burn off. Everything's fine. The system is executing as expected, if that's what you believe. One of the couple of things I wanted to bring up is I'm seeing this in a couple of the chats of like, Jake, do something, pump my bags, do XYZ. I think there needs to be, it's not for everyone, and you can't make everyone happy. When you launch something, everyone's going to complain. But one of the reasons I started doing these streams is to at least help and put things into perspective of maybe there's a bigger plan. If I told you the plan, I don't know it. I'm saying if I create something like this, put it all out there and said, here's my 10-step plan on, would you still go along with it? Or would you just be, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like how people calculate whatnot. And I think it's just not understanding because it's all new and different. Recently, so like Jake, one of the ideas he came out with was the buy and burn. I think Charles just talked about something around Cardano, almost like in order to increase the Cardano price, getting some way to, through a buying of some way like the DAO or something, buying its own token to pump the price, to move the price up so brings people over to Cardano. Fascinating. What I just found interesting about that, I'm trying to find it as I'm bringing up. So here it is. Okay, I just should have slowed down. Coinborough. I would want to look further into this, but he kind of talked about it. So let's take a look. Okay, what this tells me with TitanX, what's impressive, and this is, also have to give credit to other projects that I've seen. So you got PulseX, which is you burn a little bit of that supply. You got PTGC, which is buying and burning its own supply to give it a price floor. TitanX buying and burning to at one, we saw with the buy and burn V2 last year, it was we saw once the buy and burn V2 was clicked on, and the community was selecting, it was every 180 280 minutes or so, it was buying the supply, and as it was buying slowly over those 10 weeks, price went up. So this was all created before, so it's cool to see the even bigger players are like, maybe there's something into that, because you can't deny what's been built, what's been done. Things to consider. There are bigger plans. I kind of think when some of the sentiment is like, oh, devs do something, oh, people don't know what they're doing, they should be out marketing then instead of building or do whatever in the background. I just think it's all complex, and when you're messing with people's money, you got to be smart. Granted, if you want to be a complete degen and go absolutely crazy, and there's Solana for that, where someone holds 50+% of the supply. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Have at it. It's not my thing, but if you understand how that world works, have at it. Go for it. I'm not going to do your own research. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do with your money. And so it's just one piece I want to touch on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just think there's a bigger plan. Looking at the chart and then just trying to think about what's going on. There's got to be a bigger plan going on. Anyway, let's get into what has been built for this community. TitanX Utils, courtesy of Keto Natural and Jukes the Great. Again, if you guys we can do some stream, would love to have y'all just talk about this and what it means to the community and even what's coming up. So this is what they say here: comprehensive gateway to the TitanX ecosystem, real-time analytics for NFTs, auctions, mining, everywhere. So instead of coming to TitanX Hub and you're going through all the project links and you got your own spreadsheet and you're going, okay, today it's this much, and you're like trying to compare which one, if you wanted to get into, you could. They're going to become. I know it's all been built out here, but it's all coming to where you can. All right, you can look into all the mining, and it will at some point go. All right, at one point, TitanX will have a 10%. Was it ROI? If you were to go in here, Hyper, Taurus, one day when it launches, Helios, so on and so forth. You also have your auction system. This, credit to Volt, I think it was, or Blaze. They originated the auction system to try out, okay, how do you determine token distribution? What's a different way to for token distribution? You see that here. And NFTs. You can determine which. So yeah, and then here's your handful of NFTs that you see here. Leverage on DragonX, leverage on X28, Element 280. That leverage on, what's Element 280 built on? Is that X28 as well? Element, maybe? I think so. Anyway, up to you. But I think this is a great website as you're trying to get an understanding of like what are the auction projects protocols, what are the mining protocols, where are the NFTs, where I can swap. Way to go, guys! Great job. Another one I want to highlight is price per billion. I need to sign up. I forgot to. Hope he doesn't. Oh, sweet. This shows you how much would a billion cost of TitanX currently? $153. I think in one of the other streams it was 147. Well, it's now 153. And you can compare that against, let's say, can I do Helios? Price per billion, Helios, 263. Super cool. And I know Rod Warren is also, he also created TitanX Tube, which for all the videos where people have talked about, not all, but many of the videos where they've talked about any TitanX or anything within the ecosystem, what's gone on there. So, going to leave it at that. Also within Market Cap Simulator. So let's say a little bit of moon math. Let's say Bitcoin. No. Let's say you've got TitanX and you're holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got a billion TitanX. Wait. And that cost, we said it was $153. So at a 10x, you'd get 1,537. If you did 100x, you'd have just a little over 15 grand. Oh, come on. Do 1,000x for me, please. You would have 153K. And then for a while within the marketing of the TitanX ecosystem, it was 55,000x, 55,000x. Well, if it does a 55,000x, you, sir, I would love to know how the heck you went from $153 to almost 8.5 million. Or if you hit, if price hits a penny, you're now a decimillionaire. props to you. Let's look at DragonX. Let's say you got 1 billion DragonX. Currently, how much is that? Current price, 5 zeros and a 1742. So that'd be $1,700 for 1 billion. At 10x, you'd have 17K. 100x, you have 174. Ooh. Oh, that'd be nice. Even more. 1.7 million if you did a 1000x. I mean, it's already done 100x. If it did 1000x on top of that, what's that, 1,000,000x overall? If you bought the bottom, sold the top, bought the local bottom, then sold again. Yeah, I don't think 55,000x. Who knows? I could be completely wrong. Let's pick another one. We looked at Helios. Helios was $264, so a 10x. So play around with it. Props to you, Rod. If you got more going on, I'd like to have you on, man. You can just show the community what's going on. And then the last one I want to show, TitanX info, for those who kind of need a 101, like you're trying to promote and you're trying to explain to people who don't understand TitanX, and you just, all right, you got TitanX Hub. You can take a look at you can swap. They have premium. You can look in-depth analytics that Mike Dean's created. You got the bubbles. Portfolio, nothing here. I think I'm going to show my portfolio. You've got to be absolutely out of your mind. Swap, I think it's a cow swap embedded within. TitanX 101, crypto for beginners. Thanks again, DeFi, for showing this, for adding this to the page. And it's just a good reminder what TitanX is all about. What is it? Yes, fair game. There was no VC. Jake did not get an inside dump of the TitanX that if he's done anything with. Even the Genesis wallet, no one got pre-allocation. How it started, the community, many of the community members have a green circle. Great marketing, and then how to get started and everything. All the projects listed, and I know DeFi Degen, he has it. I think he has it ranked. So I'm waiting for it to pop here. It could be my internet. Why it's taking so long? There we go. Which has had the biggest 24-hour change as of current time. Buy, sell. Is that using Switch? Oh, it's using Uniswap. Okay. Anyway, another great, as you're looking to articulate to everyone what's the value prop of TitanX. Oh, okay. Words, crypto words. Nice. Does it have vampire? Not in there yet. Okay. Vampire attack. Anyway, take a look at as you're thinking to share, so on and so forth. Last thing I'm going to hit y'all with. I got nothing else. What do y'all think? Where are we at? Everyone, yes, we're all waiting on ETH, but where's everyone at? How's everyone feeling about the ecosystem at the moment? I got nothing else. Hopefully something there hit. Probably mumbled half the time, but anyway. Holy smokes, I've been on for an hour. All right, I think I'm going to call it. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see y'all tomorrow, and think about how, if you were to explain to someone who's in retail or anyone reaching out, what's your go-to? What's your go-to? Would love to hear back. Peace.